Is anybody aware of the fact that the Earth is likely to be destroyed one day? Everyone is absorbed by the news that the Mars rover by Perseverance company landed on Mars. Indeed, society is likely to reflect broad categories, but forgets about urgent issues, problems they deal with on a daily basis. All in all, these problems are connected with the disastrous conditions of our nature and the society. So, let's discuss them in today's topic and raise our awareness about the world. Pollution. This problem is equally actual to water, air, noise, radioactivity, and light. These types of pollution affect our environment in many ways and are interlinked, influencing each other. For example, pollution of air, water and soil requires millions of years to regenerate. Number one pollutants in these fields are industry, motor vehicle exhaust, heavy metals, nitrates and plastic. Most of all water pollution is caused by oil spill, acid rain, urban runoff, thus, making clean drinking water a rare commodity. It's becoming an economic and political issue as the human population fights for this resource. In fact, while living in highly developed countries, it's hardly possible to deal with this problem. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean that it isn't relevant to the modern world. Industrial development is filling our rivers, seas and oceans with toxic pollutants, which are a major threat to human health, and it's an indisputable fact. As for soil degradation, reasons of that phenomenon include erosion, overgrazing, overexposure to pollutants, monoculture planting, soil compaction, land use conversion, and many more. Fortunately, nowadays to prevent this problem a wide range of techniques of soil conservation and restoration exist, from no-till agriculture to crop rotation to water retention through terrace building. Artificial intelligence. Since the first appearance of artificial intelligence there has been a lot of debates in the society about its controversial functions and influence on modern society. On the one hand, it's silly to deny that artificial intelligence is the key to the future. It enables to save time and money by automating and optimizing routine processes and tasks, increase productivity, avoid mistakes and human errors, use insight to predict customer preferences and offer them better, personalized experience. What are the main benefits of artificial intelligence, which will be able to change the world, according to you? Can you imagine yourself that current systems frequently exhibit unintended behavior? There were accidents when it had found shortcuts or even cheated rather than learn to play a game fairly, figure out ways to alter their score rather than earning points through play, and otherwise take steps we don't expect to meet the goal their creators set. Supervolcano. Have you heard that volcanic eruptions can cause mankind extinction? According to the scientists, it already occurred during the Permian-Triassic extinction event, which rendered something like 90% of the Earth's species extinct. Eruptions can cause significant global cooling and can disrupt agricultural production. They're also basically impossible to prevent at least today, though they're also extremely rare. What's more, the damage from even a smaller eruption could affect the climate, damage the biosphere, affect food supplies, and create political instability. Global system collapse. Hyperinflation, the world's economic and political systems collapse, unemployment, a breakdown in normal commerce, all of that sounds terrifying and at first sight has nothing in common with destruction of the Earth. At the same time it influences society and its quality of life, particularly results in sharp increase of the death rate and even a decline in population. In fact, humanity has survived past economic downturns, even massive ones like the Great Depression. An economic collapse would have to be considerably more massive than that to risk human extinction or to kill enough people that the survivors couldn't recover. Asteroid impact. Probably everyone here has heard about asteroids hitting the Earth. Most famously, the Chicxulub impact 66 million years ago is widely believed to have caused the mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs. Theoretically, a future impact could have a similar effect too. Luckily, NASA is capable of tracking asteroids. Also, scientists and engineers are developing plans for warning systems and diversion tactics, just in case an asteroid should ever be found in an orbit that could endanger our planet. For example, one of the ideas is to crash a spacecraft into near-Earth objects with enough force to change their path, avoiding the Earth. Synthetic biology. No, don't hurry up to build a shelter and buy up all canned food in local shops. Synthetic biology isn't a real threat to humanity yet. However, it could be risky in the future. The point is that this science focuses on the creation of biological systems, including artificial life. The hypothetical danger is that the tools of synthetic biology could be used to engineer a supervirus or superbacteria that is more infectious and capable of mass destruction than one that evolved naturally. Most likely, such an organism would be created as a biological weapon, either for a military or a non-state actor. The risk is that such a weapon would either be used in warfare or a terrorist attack, or leak from a lab accidentally. Maybe after hearing that someone remembered 2020 and 2021, particularly COVID-19 pandemic. But let's discuss this topic in the following paragraph. Global pandemic. We've already discussed this topic in one of the previous videos. Nevertheless, it never hurts to remember about the danger of diseases and take measures to prevent falling ill. So, COVID-19 has killed millions of people. Tens of millions of people suffered from Spanish flu in 1918. On the one hand, medicine has improved dramatically since the Spanish flu. But on the other side, transportation across great distances has increased, and more people are living in dense urban areas. That makes worldwide transmission much more of a possibility. Even a pandemic that killed off most of humanity would surely leave a few survivors, who have immunity to the disease. The risk isn't that a single infection kills everyone. The main thing is that a pandemic kills enough people that the rudiments of civilization such as agriculture, economics, politics, culture, and so on can't be maintained, and the survivors die off. Environmental disaster. In a few words, ecological catastrophe refers to a situation where an ecosystem suffers a drastic, possibly permanent, reduction in carrying capacity for all organisms, often resulting in mass extinction. There are lots of situations when environmental disasters can occur, for instance, earthquakes, floods, volcano eruptions, storms and lots of other natural cataclysms. All of those disasters are capable of massive destruction of ecological systems, including both artificial and natural. While humanity depends on such systems, as they're responsible for production of huge amounts of food and other resources, people are likely to die out after the system's falling. Catastrophic climate change. We hear about global warming on a daily basis. Nevertheless, not everyone is aware of the reasons for this phenomenon, which will probably destroy our planet in the future if we don't find a solution. Actually, due to global warming, the temperature has risen for 4 to 6 degrees. According to a 2013 World Bank report, there is also no certainty that adaptation to a 4 degrees world is possible. Warming at that level would displace huge numbers of people, populating seashores, as sea levels rise and coastal areas become submerged. Moreover, agriculture would take a giant hit. Undoubtedly, it'll result in the giant hit on agriculture and contribute to the widespreadness of hunger. Some scientists also express concern about geoengineering. In such an extreme warming scenario, things like spraying sulfate particles into the stratosphere to cool the Earth may start to look attractive to policymakers or even private individuals. But the risks are unknown, and the scientists conclude that the biggest challenge is that geoengineering may backfire and simply make matters worse. Nuclear war. Most of the time there's lots of aggression in politics and relationships between nations are tense. Unsurprisingly, it results in the threat of the beginning of the Third World War. Despite the fact that plenty of people died and suffered during the first two wars, weapons of mass destruction weren't available in those times. But nowadays is the era of modern technologies and nuclear weapons among other things. The US, Russia, the UK, France, China, all these countries officially possess the weapon, while North Korea, Pakistan, and India declare possession of nuclear weapons. But the fact remains that too many countries have too dangerous weapons. And some of them use that for manipulations on the political arena. At the same time, some scientists hold the opinion that even if the entire populations of Europe, Russia and the USA were directly wiped out in a nuclear war, that would not raise the war to the first level of impact, which requires more than 2 billion affected. You'll ask, what can be even worse than such a disastrous dying out of billions of people? The main reason is the nuclear winter. That is, if enough nukes are detonated, world temperatures would fall dramatically and quickly, disrupting food production and possibly rendering human life impossible. It's unclear if that's even possible, or how big a war you'd need to trigger it, but if it is a possibility, that means a massive nuclear exchange is a possible cause of human extinction. Here's the end of the video. The main message of this video is to become more aware of the nowadays problems. Don't try to escape responsibility and shift it on the others. Try to do something on the daily basis and change your life and the life of others. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you.